says, let's listen to the appeal of Christ to our own hearts and come with an open mind and inquisitive spirit. Let's come with a searching mind. You never take one text in the Bible to prove a doctrine. You never take what man teaches from one of his books to prove a doctrine. You take the Bible, and you let the Bible speak. I love that old poem, What Says the Bible, the Blessed Bible to Me. The teachings of men so often mislead me, but this my only question be, what says the Bible, the Blessed Bible to me? So we've seen that Christ's coming is literal, it is visible, every eye sees it, it's audible, every ear hears it, it's a divine climactic event, and there are two classes at the end. But what about some of those Bible passages that we may not fully understand? The great Bible chapter in the book of Matthew on the second coming of Christ is Matthew chapter 24. It is here in Matthew chapter 24 that Jesus describes the signs of his second coming. After Jesus gives those signs of his coming, Jesus then describes to his disciples how to be ready for the coming of Christ. And he's already talked about the signs. He's talked about famines and earthquakes and wars. He's talked about kingdom rising against kingdom. He's talked about violence and crime and immorality. Jesus has talked about the issues that we will see taking place in the last days. We see them taking place all around us today, don't we? And as Jesus has talked about those events, he says in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 36 and onward, but of that day and hour no one knows, no, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Then Jesus uses an illustration. And this is the illustration that he uses, the illustration of Noah. And he says, starting in verse 37, but as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. Now, let's pause here for a moment. The Bible says that the second coming of Christ is going to be like the days of who? The days of Noah. And why is the second coming of Jesus like the days of Noah? Because people did not know that Christ was going to come so quickly. Their lives were so occupied. They were so deluded. They were so deceived. They were so entranced. They were so involved in their jobs and making money. So involved in buying clothes. So involved in buying furniture for their home. So involved in buying a new car. The things of time crowded out the things of eternity. The things of today crowded out the things of tomorrow. The things of the present crowded out the things of the future. So these people were absorbed in the here and now, absorbed with buying and selling, marrying and giving in marriage. There's nothing wrong with marriage. Nothing wrong with having a wife and children. But what the passage is saying is not that these things are wrong, but it's saying that these people are occupied. They're absorbed. Their families take up all their time. Their jobs take up all their time. And then it says, in this same context, verse 43, but know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you don't expect him. Jesus uses the illustration of a thief, not to describe how he is going to come, but to describe the rapidity or quickness with which he comes. Jesus uses the illustration of a thief to describe not the manner of his coming, but the timing of his coming. Every time in the Bible you see the illustration of a thief used, it is used not for the way Christ comes, not for the manner of his coming. He's coming visibly. He's coming audibly. Every eye sees it. Every ear hears it. It will be a spectacular coming. But he's coming quickly and rapidly and unexpectedly as a thief. Now, if a thief came to your house, well, don't misunderstand me. I have no bad luck wish for you that a thief will come. But if a thief comes to your house, does he come and knock on the door and say, hello, I'm a thief? Here I am. Does he announce his coming halfway down the street? I'm coming as a thief. Get ready. The thief sneaks up on you. The thief uses quickness, rapidity. The thief comes quickly when you don't expect it. So for the world who's not expecting it, Christ is coming as a thief. Now let me show you how this is outlined in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Now remember, every time the Bible uses the description of Christ coming as a thief, it's talking about the quickness, rapidity with which he comes, and the unexpected nature of his coming for unbelievers. Now for believers, doesn't come as a thief for us, because for believers, we're looking at the signs. We believe he's going to come. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But concerning the times and seasons, what's that mean, the times and seasons? That has to do with the time that you're living in, the events that shape up before the coming of Christ. You have no need that I should write to you, for you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a what? Thief in the night. So the fact of Christ coming as a thief is the quickness or rapidity with which he comes. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as a what? Thief. You are all sons of light and sons of the day. We're not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as others, but let us watch and be sober. So when Jesus comes, he comes quickly, he comes rapidly, he comes unexpectedly as a thief to the unbelievers who are not ready for his coming. The image of a thief has absolutely nothing to do with the manner of Christ's coming. It has everything to do with people who are occupied, deceived, entranced, deluded, absorbed in the things of time. What is the message that Jesus is trying to get across to you and me? Matthew 24, verse 44 says, Therefore you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour when you do not expect him. Somebody says the only way to be ready for the coming of Christ is to get ready and stay ready. And if you get ready today and stay ready today, you will be ready. May I ask you a question? Is there anything in your life today, this moment, right now, when you're watching this program, that would keep you from personally being ready for the coming of Jesus Christ? Is there some habit in your life, some magazine that you are reading that you don't want anybody else to know, but you glance, sir, at those pictures and you're enthralled by them? Some television program that captures your attention. You are so occupied by it that you have to see it continually. But it's affecting your spiritual life. It's affecting your mind and your heart and your soul. That violence, that bloodshed, that cursing, that anger, that attitude in your soul. Is there somebody that you have something against that you won't even talk to? Somebody that you're so angry with? You know, friend, maybe you're a Christian, but maybe there's bitterness in your heart. Maybe there's criticism in your life. Why not deal with it? Christ is coming as a thief, coming quickly, coming rapidly, coming unexpectedly. And he says, be you also ready. Be you also ready. Jesus invites you to open your heart to him. So the thief image has nothing to do with the manner of Christ's coming. That's where many of our friends make a serious mistake in the evangelical community. They have the idea that Christ is sneaking back. He certainly is not sneaking back, friend. But what about the idea that there'll be two in the field? What about the idea that one will be taken